Oh, it was Power here to review the Kamen Geo DX Geiz Majesty Ridewatch from the Geo Next Time Geiz Majesty. So this is the first and possibly only V-Cinema, or V-Cinex as they call it, of Geo we're getting just because of how things are going. And obviously, in order to get this, you had to buy the set of Geo Next Time Geiz Majesty. So this is the Blu-ray. This is all it comes with. So just the V-Cinex itself. I don't call them movies because they're not. And the single for the ending theme of it. And yeah, if you want more in-depth look at this, watch the unboxing I did along with the regular first generation pre-orders. I can't put this away. But anyways, so yeah, this is how you got this. So obviously I can't really compare it with the Grand Geo box because that's sheltered in a closet. But in very similar detail, we have Geiz Majesty right here, the watch itself, 8 phrases from Ken Geiz, even though his name is Kato, but I haven't seen Geiz Majesty. On the left here we have DN G3, yeah, that's G3, not G3X, Garen, Kaixa. I'm aware it's Kaiza, but I grew up with Kaixa. 80 2001 through 80 2020, which is pretty interesting. The top here I love because we have the here, but we have more secondary riders. So Gattack, Meteor, Beast, Baron, Knight, Ixa. And then on the front, I forgot to cover, we got Cross, Brave, Spectre, Mach. And then on the right, we got Ibuki, Zeranos, Birth, and Axel. And then the back I really love because it's essentially somewhat to like Premium Bandai Majesty time. Because while I would have said like I would have liked this on this side, I think it was pretty smart to have it in the back. And then nothing on the bottom. So let's get straight to this toy. So here's the Geiz Majesty Ridewatch out of its packaging. But before I get into this, I just want to show you the full package of how you get this in case you don't want to watch the unboxing. So you get the DVD right here, and then you get this cardboard piece, and then the box is literally just laying here and such. So you just simply you know, take it off like so, and yeah. Okay, so back with the watch. Obviously, as you can tell from the Geiz Majesty Ridewatch, it's a simple recoloring of the Grand Geo Ridewatch. As they didn't, again, my nitpick with Geiz Ridewatches, they don't bother changing this thing at all. They keep it round like Geo because they're too lazy at trying to make it like futuristic. Trying to make sure those RKF boxes don't fall. But if I do have to be honest with this recolor, I actually like it a bit more than Grand Geo. Just because, unlike Grand Geo, this is actually separated in like 4 colors. Because the main base of it is actually just like Geiz's Ridewatch of this like gunmetal, like deep gunmetal-esque. And then obviously we got the red, that's pretty similar towards his Ridewatch. And then the chrome red just looks really nice. And then as we will compare later, they actually reused the same gold from Grand Geo, which is odd, but I like that. The back pull tab, we got the QR code for Butaba Gamba, and then we got 093. And again, like, this is our 4th color, which is really interesting because it's translucent yellow, and I just like that because I would have just assumed it. I would have just assumed it was going to be red, but yellow is really nice touch. And then if we open it like so, obviously we get all secondary riders. So from here we got Gates, G3, X technically, Knight, Kaixa, Garen, Iwiki, Gatag, Zeranos, Ixa, DN, Axel, Birth, Meteor, Beast, Baron, Mox, Spectre, Brave, Cross. This looks pretty nice. The foil effect of it, I guess it's just because, like, I don't know, it looks fresh. Although, like, yeah, and one of my nitpicks is just that I would have preferred if they remade one piece for this, so then it only represented the 19 of them, so then Gates isn't represented twice. Because I would have preferred if they just... I understand they still want to have, like, the 5, 5, 5, 5, or 4, but then I think it would have been better if they just did 5, 5, 4, 4, because it just would have worked by, like, they are being cheapskates. So, lengthy comparisons with the Grand Geo Ridewatch. As you can tell, as I stated before, the golds on the front are exactly the same. The yellow is actually different from this gold, which is pretty neat. And as you can see from here, the tracks are actually different, which I'll explain later. And opening them up. So obviously, Geo has all 19 Heisei riders, while Gates has all 18 secondary Heisei riders. So, you know, just having these two together is, like, pretty neat and such. But obviously, Geo's just flows a lot more because you don't have Gates starting it, so. And also, a thing I have to state too with how the springs with Gates works. For mine, it's at least, like, a bit looser. It's not as, like, sturdy, or I don't know how to word it, but as you can hear from, like, that, it's more louder and, like, I don't know how you describe it, but you can tell, like, when I put it together, it doesn't sound like, I have to, like, push a bit harder, I guess. Like, see, it's just a lot more easier to, like, grab them and such. And I guess if you want to, here's phase 1. And see, that's phase 2 with no gates. So basically, if you want to know what this track is, it's Gates Revive. Because Gates Revive uses the same 093 track. Which, because of this, I'll mention not a complaint, but just something as to why it didn't happen. So let's finally get into the sounds after 10 minutes. So obviously we're going to press it like so. So we get the activation sound for Geiz Majesty. And there's the description of Geiz Majesty, which I had to be honest is kind of underwhelming compared to Grand Geo. But unlike Grand Geo, he actually has a description. Oh yeah, by the way, this is... What I was going to say is that we're going to get into Gates' phrases.
作戦だった。だが、俺たちの未来は俺たちが決める。俺は世界を救う。救世主になる。
I want to go back to the 7th one because I think I skipped something. That's 3.
これが俺の過去を蘇らせるのがお前の作戦だった。だが、俺たちの未来は俺たちが決める。過去もお前たちも関係ない。
Okay. So those are the 8 phrases that you get out of this. I don't remember how much Grand Geo came with. I think he came with like. So he has like 6. So he has like 6 phrases. So that's, that's not like, that's not bad. This thing does technically have 6 phrases too, because for some reason they decided to pull, or like, I'll get into it later. But obviously, just like Grand Geo, as you just saw me, you can hold the button down for something we're going to talk about later. However, unlike the Grand Geo Ridewatch, it just combines his 4th and 5th phrases together. And that one just sadly recycles his last phrase. Anyway, so let's finally pull the Jiku driver. Here we have the Jiku driver with gates already loaded. I need to zoom out because of what we're going to do. So obviously, just activate it like so. And slot it to the right. So as you can hear, this is producing its own standby, but it's still producing this. Anyways, let's rotate and transfer. So there we have the transformation of Geiz Majesty, and just like Grand Geo, it does a roll call of all 19 Heisei secondary riders, and if I had to be honest, I prefer it way more than Grand Geo's, and honestly, I think I just like it more, because like, this thing does a poor job at trying to step up from the transformation of Geiz, so I think this one fits very well with like the transformation of Geiz being like more futuristic and like the auto tune and such. The Revive for some reason just missed that mark so much. Anyways, finisher. Like Grand Geo, we do the same standby, but unlike it doesn't, So the finisher we get is the El Salvador Time Burst. Obviously, El Salvador being the savior. I'm pretty sure. But, that's really nice to have. And the short version, just hold it down. And obviously just to note that in this mode, you only have one singular button press before I drop it. I just really like the shortened version of that. I like the like technically because obviously when he they actually showcase him, they use the long version, but I think their way of using the short version is for the introduction. So I think that's their way of like, hey, look, we used both versions, even though they clearly didn't. I'm not going to show the finisher again, nor show it on here. Watch the demo. We're going to go with strength. I don't know what this. Gosh, this is so huge on here, but oh my gosh. We're gonna have to, zoom out because of this. I don't remember what I did in Grand. I don't remember if I actually folded in, but obviously because it's, I don't. Of course. So that's basically it for the Geiz Majesty Ridewatch, and overall, okay, before I got interrupted, because my phone fell in my pocket and something was stuck in my throat. Overall, what I think about the Geiz Majesty Ridewatch is that I really like it. I really like the variety of color it brings out because, I'm happy it's not like all red or anything. And like there's some yellow on like the Grandeur Ridewatch that's just a golden watch with very little white. But and just the secondary I forgot I was on. And the secondary riders on here is pretty cool because technically the secondary riders are like the only other thing that have been somewhat consistent. So, and I already talked about the sounds and such. The phrases, they're nice. The ones that are actually relevant to this, because there's 3 phrases from the Geiz. There's 3 phrases in this that were already in other toys. The first 2 phrases from his death were already in the Omageo driver. Then they got put in the Geiz Ridewatch, the memorial version of the Geiz Ridewatch, and now they're in this toy. And the Henshin phrase was from the memorial set. Like, I guess I understand why they didn't want to re-record it, but I prefer it when they re-record it, so it's more authentic. But I digress. I like the other 5 sounds that are in here. I forgot to talk about the face of Geiz Majesty. I just haven't mentioned it. Because this kind of goes to my next point of like the suit overall, which as you can see, it's literally like I can't pull out the box because I put it back in the plastic. But like literally, yeah, there's nowhere I can identify, but like literally, like Geiz Majesty is just like the armor in the suit with the wizard armor. Like, it's essentially take the wizard armor, put the armor pieces on, take Zamonis's shoulder pads, replace the katakana or the wizard hiragana with the Geiz hiragana, and put the Ridewatch over him, and that's Geiz Majesty. Yeah, we can, okay. Yes, we can be really critical with how lazy the suit looks. My huge issue with the suit, honestly, is just that it's too, I understand why it's red and gold, because, technically it's supposed to look similar to Gates' red and yellow, and the gold's supposed to be, an evolved version of his yellow, but I feel like my issue is that because he's so red, it contrasts really badly with all these secondary rider watches that are blue. So I would have rather to have him be silver or a color or an other color that would contrast well with the blue and the variety of the variety color of the secondary rider ride watches. Now, yes, it would have been neat to have that. Like, yes, it would be neat to have like a out of the wall complete retooling of Grangio for Gates, but this is literally V Cinema, and they probably didn't want to spend that much on a one-off thing. So what they did, they did their best, and I really have to commend them for that. Even though it doesn't look as good to Grangio, but yeah. So that'll be no. That's not it. Basically, how I recommend this is just overall, if you want something in representation of the secondary riders, you really like Gates, and if you're willing to get the full bundle, because yes, you can get this by itself, but then honestly it's you're going to be paying way more, because I feel like this will be sold around $60 to $80, like typical V Cinema stuff. Did I ever mention this is my first V Cinema thing, and I'm grateful I got it for the price I got it for. So yeah, obviously the best way I do recommend getting V Cinema stuff is just pre-ordering them, even if even if you're really trying to save stuff, you kind of have to start pre-ordering things, so then you're guaranteed on getting it for a good price. So yeah. So basically, that's it for this video. Overall, for my first Visa or Visa Next toy, I really like it. Yeah, I'll say this is on par with the Sin Spectre Ghost Icon, but yeah, that's how I'll summarize it. But don't take it that bad, because I think this is way better than that toy. So this is power, and I'll leave it people buy.